Morning. Bit of a retro video for you today. We're in the garage. Remember this from the first days of Agatha's channel? Farting around with an old Allegro in the garage, in the cold. Lovely. Just got a couple of little jobs, nothing really interesting. I've got to put a new battery on. There's nothing really wrong with the old one, I just happen to have inherited a brand new battery. So might as well put it on. And I'm going to fit a fire extinguisher, and then later on this morning, my friend and yours from the channel, Mr. Lee Allen, is going to pop over and we're going to set the tappets. And then next weekend, she's off for the bodywork to be done. So, got to really do the little bits I want to do this weekend, because it could be away for a few weeks then. So, see how we get on. See you in a bit. So this is the battery that I inherited. How it came about was we had a site clearance at work, and this came returned from one of the sites. Apparently they buy them to run a fuel pump, they can't hire them in, and once the job is finished they don't want the battery anymore. It's brand new, it's just been running a little 12 volt fuel pump. So I dropped it on charge with my C-Tech and did a recondition on it, and then it's been sat for a week, and it's still fully charged, so there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's showing, I'll just have a look, I think it's showing nearly 13 volts, hang on a sec. Yeah, so yeah, that's been sat there now for a week off charge, and we've got 12.97 volts sat in that. Let's just have a look what the Allegro one says. You can see Agatha's battery's a bit dirty and old. That's been sat. Yeah, so that's got 12, what's that? Can't see because of the light. 12.2 volts. But obviously that's connected up to the car, so there may be a slight drain on something. I don't know, radio memory and stuff. Yeah, I mean the little thing in there is still green. But like I say, it's a bit dirty and old, so I might as well change it. It's actually the wrong battery for an Allegro. Terminal should be the other side. This is an 063, as is the new one. I'm not sure what number it's an 038, I think, should be fitted to an Allegro. It's easy for you to say, an Allegro. So it should still fit. This wire is a bit stretched, but it's not under tension, so it should be okay. So I'm going to swap that anyway. Alright, so that's on. I've just got to adjust these little plastic caps. Obviously it's designed that the terminal comes out of there, and obviously this is a bit different because it's feeding the wrong way. The cable's a lot looser now as well on this because I've managed to shove the battery over a bit, so I'm quite happy with that. There we go then. Just had to cut a little bit out of that one just to get it through the cable, and then that one I've just fed the clip under that side, so it's holding it. This one's a fraction proud because the screws on the top of the thing are a bit high, but it's the negative anyway, and it's not going to touch the bonnet, so yeah, all good. Right, I didn't film myself jacking the car up because who wants to see that? You'll also notice, for the humorists out there, that the Allegro is jacked up and none of the windows have yet popped out. So yeah, I just jacked it up really to check. I want to put the fire extinguisher on this transmission tunnel, or whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to check that the gear rods didn't run down the centre, and that there were no, there's not going to be, but no fuel lines or brake lines. I know where everything is, so I just wanted to double check that. And then obviously I need to get under there to do the bolts up. So here's a little trick. I'll let you borrow this one. I drilled the hole for the fire extinguisher, and then as per Every time you drill an hole through carpet, you can never find it. I've been jabbing about with a screwdriver for the last 5 minutes. In the end, I've put a light underneath the car, shining upwards, and now I can see where the hole is. Alright, that's the view from underneath, where it's bolted. Should be okay, it's nowhere near the gear linkage rods. So yeah, all is good. There we go then, all bolted in. Right, so there we are in situ. Hopefully I never need it. It's one of them things you buy, isn't it, a fire extinguisher, hoping that you'll never use it. Kind of like Lee with deodorant, I suppose, but I'm only joking because he's not here yet. Yeah, but you know, you hope you're never going to use this, but it's there if I have to. Maybe people are going to say, why didn't you go for foam? There is no reason really. Powder was the main option that was offered. It's good enough. I know it makes a mess, but to be honest, if your car's on fire, the last thing I'm going to worry about is whether it's going to go any more damage with foam or powder. So yeah, that's what we've got. It's not ideal. It's you know, it's not something we want to see in a car, but it's got to be there, hasn't it, really? I think safety first. Here we go then. We are now joined by the star of the channel. He's going to anal probe me with his gloves as well. Gloves. So Lee is going to help me, stroke, do it for me, I'd imagine, and show me how to do...
colonic irrigation.
Yes. How to set the tappets. Or the push rods, or whatever you call it. What do you actually call it? Setting the tappets?
Setting the tappets, yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right then.
Well, we'll start by removing the rocker cover. I'm putting the spanner on the nut. It's going to be one of them days, isn't it?
Well, we might chop this down a bit. We don't need to see all this, do we?
I'm unscrewing the nuts.
We have got a new rocker cover gasket, by the way. Don't start this job without it. I've never actually seen under here. It's been leaking oil since I've had it, to be fair.
Oh my God.
It's what?
Oh no.
He's pretending.
That's fine. Everything's all right.
So we're just scraping the old gasket off, which has definitely seen better days.
Oh yes, most definitely.
We won't film this, but that's what we're doing at the minute. I've just cleaned the rocker cover off. If I was a proper car enthusiast, I'd be cleaning that now and painting it, but I'm not. I tend to keep the bonnet shut at all times during shows for fear of embarrassment. And that's not going to change. I'm certainly not going to paint that now. You know, awful as in good.
How we had Indian last night.
Look, we've even got a book with writing in it. Can't see that. Yes, we can. 0.12, 0.3 mil.
Okay.
We should say we haven't got a socket big enough to put on the pulley, so we've had to rock the car backwards. But we're on there now. Go on then.
So we're going to do the rule of 9, which is the go-to for a 4-cylinder engine, which basically means if number 1 valve is fully open, we check number 8. There you go, that adds up to 9. So when number 2 is fully open, we'll check number 7. Adds up to 9. Is that right? Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, apart from you pointed at that, which
I
clearly
pointed at that, that's number
not
6,
7.
isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that. But there you go, you get the gist of it.
Yes.
So we've got number 1 down, and now we'll check number 8. Now basically all you're doing,
yeah, it should just drag, shouldn't
is
it?
feeling it. We just drag it in.
So that's okay. That don't need touching really.
That's okay. In fact,
Yeah, I mean, if they're not flopping about or they're not too tight, I'm not overly worried.
no, because
It was
because what
running
you'll
okay.
do, there's actual oil
Yeah.
in these little buckets and down in the follower as well. So even if it is slightly tight, eventually once you press that oil out, you will get a feeler gauge in there.
Yeah, that's all right. That one.
So yeah, But all you're doing is literally just feeling the gap. And there's hardly any pressure going on that.
Yeah.
And you can just feel it drag.
Cool.
So yeah, that one's fine.
Right, we're on.
So I've actually found that number 5 is quite sloppy. And Ricky has double checked it. So what we'll do now is to adjust this. Spanner on the top. Slacken the lock nut. Screwdriver in there. And we'll just check the feel and then just slightly turn the screw to now we feel a little bit of drag. That will be fine there. So we'll put lock nut on. We'll steady the adjusting screw with the screwdriver so it doesn't turn back on us and loosen off. And there we go.
Cracking.
One nicely adjusted tappet.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've now got valves 8 and 6 down. So we can now check 1 and 3. So 8 and 1 is 9, 6 and 3 is 9. Rule of 9.
So they're not too far out. We've had a couple that have been slightly loose, but as Lee has said, it wouldn't really affect the running. We're not going to really notice a massive difference, but there's been 2 or 3 that have been slightly loose, hasn't there? But certainly not ticky.
Yeah, when I'm fitting a new rocker cover gasket, make sure it's on nice and square. There's no parts of your gasket poking out where you can trap it. Now the idea of a gasket is to seal it. So if anybody tells you to put gasket goo on there, don't bother. It doesn't do anything. It may just hold it in place while you're putting things on, but apart from that, don't get gumming it on there because it doesn't need it. If that was the case, you wouldn't have a gasket to start with.
Wise words.
Take it from an engineer.
He's an engineer. He's an engineer, you know.
Not a good one.
He's not a pretty face, just. That's in the wrong order.
You've done that a million times.
Beautiful.
Sweet! So one thing we have noticed, there was a little tiny bit of water under the car, which you can see in my tray. It's been sat in here for a few weeks, to be honest. And Lee's just noticed the water pump gasket. Let me just show you that. I don't know if you can see this on video, but where Lee's finger is on the water pump.
I'll get the light round there.
No, we can't see it really, but basically the water pump gasket into the block, there's a little tiny bit of green on there. It's seeping from there. So that'll be a job for later in the year when we get the car back, or early next year now, I suppose.
There is a little bit of seepage as well. You can probably can't pick it up on the camera, but
yeah,
you can see a little bit of seepage.
Seepage.
Not quite like a nun's crutch.
Well, she's an old lady.
Well, you might get a little bit of discharge.
There we go, that was just a little update for you. So we've done the fire extinguisher, we put a new battery on, and Lee set the tappets for me. That's it now really. Agatha goes to the body shop next weekend, so don't know how long it'll be there. Thanks to Lee for doing the tappets and usually messing around with me on the channel. There's always a bit of fun when me and Lee get together, which is nice. And I know a lot of you like to see Lee, so he'll do a few more with me now and again. And
Shall I take my hat off?
well, so we both look the same. Look, twins.
Hey.
dear. Anyway, we'll catch you on another video and don't do what you just did.
I won't, promise.
Bye. See you
Cheerio.
later. He did it.
What? I didn't.
He went or some shit like that. It's been done. There we go.
See you soon.
Thank you, mate.
You're very welcome.
The mighty ambassador.
Will
it start? Will it start? Bloody BL rubbish.
See you soon.
Ta-da.
Cheerio.
Here we are. We are joined by the real star of the channel now, as we know, Agatha's favourite. That's no good. No.
So we've now got 6 and 8 down. So we can now check valves number 1.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
8.
sorry.
8 and 1 is 9.
Fucking hell. Start that again because I'm going to sound dumb. Number 6 is like Jordan's flange.
Oh no!
God, that is sloppy, isn't it?
Hey, that's really... Oh dear. Oh, that's bad.
It's staying in the cut.
No way.
Yeah, it's alright. Nobody knows what flange means around here. Wizard sleeve. Any more?
Wow.
Clown's pocket. Oh dear. This channel isn't for children.
No.
I'll just waffle on. There we go then. Little video for you for today. Not much on there, bit of faffing around, you know what it's like. My thanks to other channel host, Lee.
How you doing?
That's crap. Don't do that. That's it then. Right, so that's it then. We've done a little update video for you there. Thanks for Lee. Thanks for Lee. No.
2.
Yeah, I know.